What is up, YouTube? It's CS back here with another installment, and here are my picks for UFC Live, Cruz versus Johnson. Alright, y'all, but before I do get on with my picks, I have an announcement, of course, regarding my contest for UFC 135 for Jones versus Rampage. Of course, Jones took a 4th round submission, so in that video that I made for my picks for that event, if you picked a 4th round submission and told me that in the comment section, and if you were subscribed, you were eligible to win that Throwdown Rampage t-shirt that I was putting up for grabs. Unfortunately, no one picked a 4th round submission for Jon Jones, so I had to pick the closest thing. Of course, someone said a 3rd round submission for Jon Bones Jones, and that person was Straight Edge Savior 4, so big ups to you, man. Congratulations, and hopefully you get that shirt in mail real soon. But moving on, unfortunately, for this free card, I do not have a contest for this one. But stay tuned for my UFC 136 Edgar vs. Maynard 3 picks. Those should be up very soon. So if you want in on a contest, check out what I got up for grabs there. But let's get to breaking down this card now. In my opinion, it looks alright. We got pretty exciting matches that, make up the main card, I think. So watching that shit for free, I ain't complaining. And the preliminary card for a free card isn't the worst I've seen out of a UFC free card. So we could definitely see worse, in my opinion. And hopefully this event ends up to be, exciting. So we'll see. Who knows? But let's take a look at the first bout of the main card. This one is a rematch between lightweights Matt Wyman and Mac Danzig. Alright, y'all. Now, if you guys do remember their first fight, of course, Yves Levine screwed that thing up. Yves Levine did what he does best, and that's screw things up. Mac Danzig apparently tapped out to a guillotine choke from Matt Wyman. Hence, Matt Wyman picked up a submission win from Yves Levine. Yeah, well, Danzig wasn't even close to tapping. And, that's unfortunate for him. However, I think Wyman's going to finish what he started come this fight. I think he beats him legitimately. Mac Danzig, how does he win this fight? I don't see him out-grappling Wyman. I think that's highly unlikely. And Wyman will only get out-grappled if he's sleeping. I think on the feet, Danzig can clip him and finish him with a TKO. That's about it. But for the most part, Wyman's not a terrible stand-up fighter. I think he's good. But, Wyman's going to stick to his guns here, and that's be a wrestler. Mac Danzig's not a very good counter-wrestler, and he should struggle dearly with trying to defend takedowns and trying to get back up. Matt Wyman, once he does get you down to the ground, will be able to keep you there most of the time, and, ground and pound you till he feels like TKOing you in the end and just turning it up, or, you roll over and he RNCs you, One of those things is going to happen to Mac Danzig come this fight, in my opinion. Matt Wyman, the more stronger fighter, the more aggressive fighter, the better wrestler. Mac Danzig, not a very good counter wrestler. Mac Danzig's going to lose this fight. I'm actually going to say Matt Wyman takes a 2nd round rear naked choke after Mac Danzig rolls over from not liking the ground pound. So that's my pick. RNC round 2 for Matt Wyman. Alright, folks, moving on. The next fight is between welterweights Anthony Johnson and Charlie Brenneman. On paper, Johnson looks like he's the easier pick here. He's as good a wrestler as Charlie Brenneman, and he's bigger, he's stronger, arguably faster. Yeah, and probably has better stand-up. Not sure how much that's going to mean in this fight, due to the fact that if Johnson comes into this fight trying to do what Rick Story did, and that's sprawl brawl, I don't think he's very successful. Charlie Brenneman, I think, will be able to take him down. I think what Johnson needs to do to win this fight is take Brenneman down, keep him on his back. Brenneman, I think, is a classic example of a wrestler is weakest off their back. I'm not sure how much game he has off his back. If Johnson's on his back, I think Johnson is explosive enough to get back up. Charlie Brenneman, if he's on his back, he's going to have to deal with a 200-pound Johnson come that day. And I'm not sure if he's going to react well to it. Johnson has nasty ground pound. and I think he's going to utilize it very well in this fight after he does take Brenneman down. I think that's what the game plan is going to be, and I just don't think that Brenneman's going to be able to stuff any of that shit or come back with his own takedowns. If Johnson is wrestler first in his mentality here, and that's what I'm thinking he's going to be. So I'm picking Anthony Johnson to win a late first round TKO via punches. I think he goes all for it because I'm not sure how much I like this guy in the later rounds, so I think he's going to look relatively aggressive come round one. So that's my pick, Anthony Johnson TKO punches via round one over Charlie Brenneman. Alright, y'all, now speaking of punches, this next fight should be sick. Heavyweight bout between Pat Barry and Stefan Struve. Both dudes coming off losses. Pat Barry coming off that Czech Congo comeback win and loss for him. And then Stefan Struve, he got wrecked by Travis Brown via Superman punch. So both these dudes trying to get back on track. And if these guys were anything but heavyweight, the loser would probably get cut after this. Pat Barry, though, Pat Barry, I just don't have a lot of faith in him. I don't think he can pull the trigger in an MMA match for whatever reason. I thought he should have finished Beltran, didn't even try to. I don't know why. Whatever. Struve doesn't have the greatest chin, but Pat Barry can definitely clip him, knock him out, and not worry about a Czech Congo zombie comeback, in my opinion. Struve wins this if it hits the ground or if he has Pat Barry shook on the feet himself. For the most part, on the feet, I think it's going to look relatively tentative, though. But I think Pat Barry is going to try to settle this thing with some leg kicks. I don't like how Stefan Struve's not able to utilize his reach effectively on the feet. I think Pat Barry should edge him out on the feet and eventually finish him. Struve, he has decent power, but I don't think he has the knockout power Pat Barry does. And, if I'm going to pick Struve, it's going to be by submission, but I think Pat Barry, I hope, was working with Ben Askren or someone on how to keep this shit on the feet. And hopefully he doesn't get knocked out. So that's my pick. Pat Barry, first round TKO. I'm going to say punches. I just think he gets within the reach of Stefan Struve and exposes his chin. So that's my pick. First round TKO via punches for Pat Barry. And of course, moving on, last fight of the card, the main event between Dominick Cruz and Demetrious Johnson. Of course, this is for Cruz's bantamweight title. This should be a fun fight. On the side of Cruz, in my opinion, I think he just is able to counter wrestle against Demetrious Johnson and just outstrike him technically and beautifully. Cruz, I think he's gonna not throw as many kicks due to the fact that he might get taken down, but I think he's just gonna jab, move away, jab, move away, and hopefully looks more exciting with throwing more combinations. I think he will, and I just don't think Johnson's gonna have much of retaliation besides trying to go for a takedown. I think this might look like maybe a more competitive version of the Cruz-Jorgensen fight, where I think Johnson will be able to get some takedowns, but I think Cruz is a very good fighter in scrambles. I think he's going to be able to get back up from there, maybe catch Johnson in a guillotine or something crazy like that, Uriah Faber style. But I just don't see Johnson being able to take Cruz down and hold him down. Maybe take him down, but to hold him down for the rest of the round, I don't think so. So I just got to go with Cruz here. I just think that he's going to stifle Johnson with his reach and his technical striking. And I think his counter wrestling is going to be good enough. And I think he might even take down Johnson. So I think Cruz mixes it up here and picks up a unanimous decision. He's gonna need to have his cardio on point against Mighty Mouse, though. I think Mighty Mouse is a good fighter for a 5-round format, and I think he might be able to take a round or two come to later rounds. Who knows? But I think Cruz just has to impose his will early and keep that pace up for the rest of the fight. I think he does. So that's my pick. Dominick Cruz via unanimous decision. So there it is, guys. UFC Live, Cruz versus Johnson this Saturday. Go check out that card. It's free. So why not? It's free MMA. Also, preliminary card picks are in the description below, so please check those out. Again, my UFC 136 picks should be up shortly, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, tell me what you thought of the video in the comment section below. Also, thumbs up if you're picking Dominick Cruz, thumbs down if you're picking Demetrious Johnson, and yeah, I guess I'm out. So subscribe if you haven't already, and thank you for all the support. My links are also in the bottom, so check those out, and take care.